Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Joey Olivo here with Legacy Strength, and we are in the week number 4 of our Eat Smart to Burn Fat nutrition series. This week, we're going to discuss dialing it in and staying consistent. We're going to discuss meal timing, portions, and long term success. Over the last 3 weeks, we discussed a lot about how to eat right, how to portion your protein, all about your carbs, how to measure your foods. So we're going to wrap all that up today, and I want to give you some real actionable steps that you can take with you at the end of this series. So for today, number one, we're going to talk about bringing it all together. Over the last 3 weeks, we covered hormonal balance, protein for muscle preservation, and smart carb and fat choices. Now it's all about fine tuning your habits and making all of this a sustainable lifestyle and something that you can live with. So, does meal timing matter? There's no one size fits all approach, but structured meal timing can help with hunger management and energy levels. So, the meal timing is not perfect for everybody. We like to tell everybody to experiment with 3 to 4 balanced meals per day, at least, or to try an eating window of some sort. So, when it comes to meal timing, I highly recommend this for people. Like I said before, it can really help you with hunger management and energy levels. A lot of times what I do when I'm working with someone, I will tell them, hey, if your first meal's at 8 a.m., you're going to make your next meal at 12 noon. So 4 hours later is the window. The next meal is 4 hours after that, so that's 4 p.m. And the next meal is 4 hours after that, which is 8 p.m. So I like to do at least 4 hours. And if they have something in those gaps that doesn't allow them to eat exactly at those times, you can move it. Move it back an hour, move it back 2 hours, whatever it is. Just make sure you're consistently eating and consistently getting that protein and healthy protein and carbs into your system. When it comes to the eating periods or using an eating window, some people might call it intermittent fasting. It doesn't really matter as much as long as you stick to it. And the second thing that happens with intermittent fasting, I might have mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, most people tend to just cut out a whole meal, or they'll cut out a lot of foods, and they're not getting as much calories, they're not getting their protein amount. And of course, you're going to lose weight because your calories are really, really low. But that's not the right approach either. So if you're going to choose an intermittent fasting route or looking at an eating window, just make sure you're still tracking your calories and still tracking your protein. Some people find out, hey, if I choose to do an 8-hour eating window in order to hit my calories and protein, I now have to eat every 2 hours, and that just doesn't work for me. So some people is fine, some people is not fine. Do what works for you. Try to space the meals out every 3 to 4 hours. You can do a meal, 2 meals, a snack, and then another meal, and you will be just fine. Uh, Another thing we discussed was portion control without obsession. We use the guidelines of using your hands as the best tools in order to help you keep your portions in check. So remember, it's a palm size of protein per meal, so roughly the size of your hand. If you're a smaller person, the hand size will also be smaller, so your protein portion will be just right for you. Carbs will be a fist-sized portion, and you adjust it based on activity level. So your fist is like this. You can picture that. Put it next to like a mound of rice or potatoes or something, and that's about your size of carbs. And like I told you guys last time, if you go to a diner or you go out to eat and you check that carb portion, even if it's something like French fries or something like that, you'll see, holy cow, I have like 2 or 3 of my fist's worth of French fries. You really only need one. And that's a really, really good way to control your portions. Just kind of put your hand right next to the plate and you'll see, wow, this is a double portion. Let me package half of it for later. Fats, we said a thumb size portion per meal, so that's just using your thumb. That serving is about the size of is about an ounce of nuts, or olive oil or salad dressing, anything like that that you're putting is about a thumb size portion. And if you do use double, make sure you track that I did use double of that portion. It's always good to have that, so you know. Veggies, make sure veggies are half of your plate. All right, so the vegetables need to be half that plate. It's a really, really good indicator that you're getting enough nutrition, enough nutrients in your system. Avoid calorie counting burnout Don't focus on just counting the calories. Yes, they matter, and yes, they're important, but don't get burned out over it. Only focus on food quality and mindful eating instead. So the higher the food quality is, the more you're eating, the more nutritious foods you're eating, the more whole foods you're eating, the better you're going to be. Mindful eating means eating without distractions, without the TV, without the devices. Yes, I know devices are everywhere, especially, in our house. I got a few kids, so there's devices everywhere all the time. And we have to put them away and really sit down and focus on eating, because when you are distracted and you're eating, you're going to eat double most of the time than if you actually sat there and you said, you know what, I enjoy this snack. I am enjoying this meal. And you'd be surprised at how less you will eat as long as you are more mindful of it. Especially those of you who have a sweet tooth and you like your desserts, you're going to see that, hey, if I sit here in silence and or I'm not distracted while I'm eating this, I'm only going to eat this one and appreciate the texture and the flavors or whatever it is. Otherwise, if you're distracted and you're scrolling your TikTok or your Instagram or you're watching something on YouTube at the same time, you're more likely to overeat and have 3-4 servings instead of just one. So keep that in mind with the mindful eating. Now, building long-term consistency. Remember the 80-20 rule? We spoke about that. Eat nutritious meals 80% of the time. All right, this allows you to have flexibility with your meals 20% of the time. What does that mean? So if you're eating 4 times a day, that means you're having a roughly 28 meals a week. 20% of that is about 6 meals. So you have 6 opportunities to go off track. You can do these. Some people will do all 3 meals in a day as a cheat day, use them all on a weekend. Some people will spread those cheat meals out in a week. The most important thing to realize is that you do still have a calorie limit and you do not want to go over that limit. So it's very easy. I see this happen all the time. People will say, oh, I had a cheat meal. That cheat meal was 5,000 calories, and it really, really blew their calorie allotment for the week. So when you have a cheat, enjoy it, appreciate it, but just make sure you're not super overdoing it and blowing your calories out of the water. Make sure you plan ahead. This is also going to help you build long-term consistency. I always preach people planning ahead. One of the main tips is batch your cooking. So try to cook about a bunch of chicken at the same time, a bunch of steak at the same time, and just make sure you're getting a lot of potatoes at the same time, and just try to make a lot so that way you have enough meals for a few days and you're not consistently cooking. Always keep your high protein snacks handy. We had to talk with somebody in the gym who just found out about drinkable Greek yogurt. Awesome option. And always avoid last minute decisions. That's always going to help, because if you are flying around your day and you don't have a plan and you start saying to yourself, oh, what am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to have for lunch? Before you know it, those decisions start off, oh, I'm going to have a salad and grilled chicken. And then if you get distracted, the chances you're going to have that start to drop and drop and drop. Tracking progress beyond the scale. Remember, the scale is not always the only thing you're tracking. Notice changes in your energy, your strength, your digestion, how your clothes fit. Always look at that when you're at those things as well when you're looking at your progress. All right, so it's not just the scale. There are other things that matter. So final actionable steps for you guys. Create your go-to meal structure based on what works for you. We know you need half a plate veggies, a palm size of protein, a fistful of carbs. So find a structure that works for you. Pre-plan it. Say, hey, today I'm gonna have half my plate's gonna be broccoli. I'll get it from frozen. I had some chicken I made the other day, and I had some rice I made the other day as well. Easy, okay? Plan a weekly grocery list to support your balanced eating. We do have a Legacy Strength grocery list that I do highly recommend everybody use. It saves you time and money, and those are 2 of my favorite things. And finally, focus on progress, not perfection. That's one of our sayings here. Consistency over time leads to big results. Focus on those small steps. Make sure you're consistent, and make sure that you focus on the progress and not perfection. I just want you guys to stay one step in front of the other every single day, and that is the biggest takeaway that you can take from this 4-week series. So to finish up with some quick meal ideas, breakfast, you got scrambled eggs with some sauteed spinach and a side of berries. Really, really easy breakfast to do. This weekend, me and my family actually found out about making a larger batch of scrambled eggs in the oven. Really easy, actually really tasty, and I think it comes out a lot better than it does in a pan. Only because I feel like the oven probably cooks it a little more thoroughly. So yes, there is a way, quick and easy way to do scrambled eggs in the oven. It takes about 20 minutes beginning to end, and I'll make sure to post that for you guys in our chat group. Lunch, grilled chicken with quinoa, roasted Brussels sprouts, really easy. And if you're on the go, always remember, a protein and a salad is always a great option when you're on the go. You can always use grilled chicken, shrimp, or some type of seafood are always good options. Usually when I'm on the way for lunch and I have to eat out, it's either going to be grilled chicken with a salad or shrimp with a salad, and those are really easy, really healthy options. Dinner, baked salmon, roasted sweet potatoes, asparagus, really good option. I love that one. I use that a lot. Again, with salmon, always use the magic salmon seasoning. And finally, snacks, Greek yogurt, always have it on hand. The Oikos 000 protein is probably the best right now, 20 grams of protein in a small cup. So if you need that boost, use it. Have that with some almonds, or you can use cottage cheese and sliced cucumbers. Cottage cheese, by the way, is something I found out. You can actually make a lot of savory dishes that include like salt and pepper and hot sauce, and use that as like a dipping sauce on the side, which will help you improve your protein intake as well. Bonus tip for you guys, stay patient, trust the process. Remember, fat loss and muscle preservation happen over time with small daily choices. All right, so keep that in mind, guys. Wishing the best for you. This is Joey Olivo calling from Legacy Strength. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.